Hey, welcome back to our podcast. I'm Alex.
And I'm Sabrina. So glad you're with us. Today is episode 14 of our series, Building Better Relationships in Construction. We're talking about a deceptively simple but powerful habit from Paul Schwinghammer's book, Building Better Relationships. Chapter 14. Write it down.
Yup. Paul's point here is small, consistent acts of documentation are deposits into the relationship bank account. Sounds a little clinical maybe, but it's true. Every meeting, every phone call, every walkthrough, those are opportunities to build trust. And writing things down is one of the strongest ways to do that.
Right. Think about a quick example, like being at a restaurant. You tell the server, "No tomatoes on my burger." If they forget, you start wondering if they were listening, right? Same thing with clients. If you jot down their request, visibly, people feel heard. They feel valued.
And Paul stresses both the visible and the verbal side. So it's not just taking notes, it's showing the client you're taking notes. Clipboard, tablet, even a notepad. When they see you write it, it communicates care. And when on the phone, say it out loud. Hold on, let me write that down. That little pause. That statement signals you're taking it seriously.
Exactly, and people notice. When you say, "Let me pause and write that down," it does three things. It shows active listening, signals respect for their input, and reinforces professionalism. Those three together, they go a long way toward building confidence in you as the builder or manager.
I like that. Active listening, respect, professionalism. Those are key. But there's also a practical side. Notes protect you. If something comes up later, you can refer back. No, he said, she said. No, I thought we agreed on that. You've got a record, and that helps you address issues quickly and with clarity.
Exactly. Paul frames documentation as a safeguard for your reputation. It's about minimizing misunderstandings and preventing forgotten promises. When you're consistent, you're not just protecting yourself. You're reinforcing the client's sense that their project is being handled responsibly.
The consistency piece is really important. You've got to make documentation a habit, not something you do when you remember. It's really a non-negotiable habit. Always capture concerns and promises immediately after conversations. Whether digital or paper, make it routine.
I want to pause on something, showing what you're writing down. Don't just write silently and tuck it away. If the client is there, read it back. Say, "So you'd like the laundry room cabinet moved slightly to the right." Got that down. It reassures them and gives them a chance to correct or confirm.
Or even better, pull up the project app, show the item, and link it to the schedule or task list. That's powerful. It says, this isn't just a note, it's an action item. Paul suggests using tools, digital apps, project management software, simple checklists, whatever helps you track reliably.
Tools help, but so does tone. When you pause and write, say it in a way that invites trust. I want to make sure I don't miss this. Simple, but with a very human touch, clients appreciate that. It's not bureaucratic, it's relational.
Yeah. And another point Paul makes, these notes create a reservoir of trust. When something goes wrong, delays, errors, miscommunications, you can reach into that reservoir. You can show the client, "I noted this, here's how we handled it." Or, "We discussed this on March 17th. Remember? I have the notes right here." That transparency calms people down. It reduces friction.
That's so true. And on the flip side, if you never write anything down, the client's confidence erodes over time. They assume things are slipping through the cracks. Even small details, like the height of a mirror or where a cabinet should be, matter. Those small details add up to a feeling of being cared for.
There's a psychological element too. Seeing someone take notes signals importance. Clients think if they're writing it, it matters. So beyond the record itself, the act of writing sends a message. Your preferences matter to us.
So let's get practical. Paul gives some tips. First, always record concerns and promises immediately after conversations. Don't wait until the end of the day. Capture it while it's fresh.
Second, share what you're writing down. Read it back in the moment. Confirm it. That avoids later surprises.
Third, confirm details during follow-up. Refer back to your notes in subsequent communications. Say, per our note from the walkthrough, you wanted the shower head moved 6 inches higher. That reminds the client that you recorded it and that you're following through.
Fourth, use tools that support reliable documentation, whether it's a cloud-based project tool, a CRM, or even a tagged spreadsheet. The point is systematic visibility, so nothing falls through.
And finally, be consistent. Make it a non-negotiable habit. Paul emphasizes that consistency builds trust over the long run. Clients begin to expect that level of care, and that expectation becomes a competitive advantage.
I want to call out one thing. This isn't about bureaucracy or micromanaging clients. It's about respect. Documenting shows you respect their time, their preferences, and their investment. It's also about accountability, holding your team to the same standard.
Totally. When the whole team buys into the habit, project managers, subs, client liaisons, it becomes part of the culture. That culture of documentation makes the client feel safe, and it reduces rework and disputes.
And when disputes do happen, well-maintained notes let you respond calmly and factually, not emotionally. You can say, here's what was requested on this date. Here's what we delivered. That makes resolution faster and preserves the relationship.
One of the examples Paul gives is a simple walkthrough request. We'd like the bathroom mirror hung slightly higher. If you take the time to write it down while they're there, maybe even sketch it briefly, you've made a deposit. If you forget later, you can go back to that note and say, oh, you wanted it higher. Here's the plan.
Right, and sketching. Don't underestimate it. A quick drawing can be clearer than words. Or note that the top of the mirror is to be 82 inches off of the finished floor, or something like that. A little visual note on placement or elevation can prevent a lot of back and forth later.
For sure, and you can't be too specific with your details. Also, don't be afraid to timestamp notes or attach them to photos. A photo with a caption can be gold. It shows exactly what you saw and what was discussed. Paul recommends combining notes, timestamps, and visuals when possible.
Let's talk about the client's perception for a second. When clients witness consistent documentation, they start to feel less anxious. They feel that their project is being handled capably. That trust makes them more patient during inevitable bumps in the road.
And it also helps with referrals. Clients who feel listened to and see evidence of that listening will recommend you. Word of mouth is still huge in this industry, and documentation is one of those behind-the-scenes practices that builds that goodwill.
Here's a quick role play. Imagine a phone call. Client: we want the countertop edge rounded, not squared. You: hold on, let me write that down so I don't miss it. Done. Rounded edge on the kitchen countertop. I'll confirm with the fabricator and get you an update by Tuesday. That small script covers listening, recording, and setting follow-up expectations.
Yes, that closing loop is essential. When you set an expectation for a follow-up and then fulfill it, that's a double deposit. The note plus the follow-through equals trust multiplication.
Okay, near the finish here. We'll wrap with a quick checklist you can implement starting tomorrow. 1. Carry a notepad or have your tablet ready during client interactions. 2. Say out loud when you're writing. 3. Read notes back and confirm. 4. Attach photos or sketches when useful. 5. Log the note in your project system and set a follow-up task. And it's always best to have the customer sign off on any design changes with a change order, even if there's no charge for the change. Simple, right?
Simple but powerful and consistent. Document everything. That's the trick.
Before we sign off, Sabrina,
remember, you can purchase your copy of the groundbreaking book, Building Better Relationships, a guide to enhancing the customer experience for home builders, remodelers, and construction managers by author Paul Schwinghammer on Amazon and Barnes & Noble in multiple formats.
Great reminder, and if you liked this episode, please subscribe and share. Take one documentation habit this week, just one, and see how clients respond. Small deposits lead to big trust.
Thanks for listening. We'll be back soon with the next chapter and more practical tips from Paul's book with episode 15 entitled How to Fire a Subcontractor and Maintain Respect.
Wow, that will be a great episode we all can learn from. Until then, I'm Alex.
And I'm Sabrina. Build well and write it down.
Bye for now.